Hello and welcome back to the Pit Wall Podcast. It's summer break for Formula One, so we already know to expect half of the drivers on the grid to post about 20 or 30 shirtless pictures on their Instagrams.
The best time of the year.
Oh yeah, exactly. But we are covering the Belgian Grand Prix this week, so
this is one of those like all over the place races. There was wet, there was dry conditions, there's different strategies, probably the biggest strategic range of any race that we've had this year. And I'm not going to do a quali in 60 this week just because I want to talk about the sprint. So in lieu of that, I say we go straight into the sprint. But thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe, like, all that stuff. And before we fully get into it, I just want to mention that there's a little bit of an Easter egg, if you want to call it that, in last week's episode because I made a mistake in editing and I noticed this morning. So there is a AC in this room that we turn off.
Oh gosh.
And there's this thing that happens once a day where it like sucks up the water. And it happened in the middle of us recording last time. And I said, we're going to cut this out. And I didn't cut it out. And I even clapped. So that's in the episode for posterity. So it's a good thing not many people listen to the actual episode right now. But that's going to change. So, and also, if you are a TikTok person, now you can listen to our podcast right in TikTok. So that's pretty cool. So if you see us post a new episode and you don't want to do a lot of clicking, there you go. So do you want to talk about the sprint first or do you want to talk about news first?
Let's cover news.
Okay.
Then get to racing.
Okay. So we're kind of working backwards. So first thing I want to talk about is Alpine because that happened before the weekend started. Mm-hmm. So what happened, Dawson? What happened to Alpine?
Otmar is gone.
And their sporting director.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe it. I think this is the most unjust firing I've seen since watching Formula One. To be in the middle of the season, it's just such a bad call.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really wanted to say is, you know, in his interview, Otmar pitched Otmar, whatever, pitched a 100 race plan, which they were like, I think 30 or 40 into, something like that. Mm-hmm. And whether or not your opinion of Alpine and thinking that it shouldn't take 100 races to get to the front of the pack, that's irregardless of the fact of that's what he said in his interview he was going to do. So you should expect it to take 100 races.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was in sync. So I don't know what else they were wanting from him. So I mean, how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I think they got mad after seeing McLaren make such a big turnaround.
I mean, yeah,
it probably was in development for a while though. I'm not gonna lie. They probably were debating this towards the beginning of the season. So
the news broke about an hour ago of our recording this that his name's Laurent Rossi. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry, I'm not French. That it was him that negotiated the contracts with Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri, which is the only reason I could think they would fire him over, which is that debacle, but it wasn't even his fault. So I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is maybe the new group that owns 25% of them that includes Ryan Reynolds. Not that it's Ryan Reynolds' fault, but like just that group of investors, maybe they didn't like Otmar.
That's true. It could be that. I mean, F1's a very political sport.
So apparently he already has potentially another team. I'm hearing he might be the CEO and team principal of Andretti potentially. If they get a team, which I'm hearing might be a go. So that would be crazy. That dude has jumped some teams at this point. But the other big problem that I think Alpine is going to have is I think they're going to lose BWT to whatever team that Otmar goes to. So that's the biggest news that happened. And I went from hating him a little bit to after this last Drive to Survive season, as much as you can give it credit, having sympathy for him and liking him. And now he's out and I'm upset.
Yeah.
So,
he definitely worked hard for what he was a very, the buck stops at him guy.
Yeah.
So,
it's just too soon. Soon. And all they do is fire. Look at their history at this point. They've just been firing team principals left and right. So, anyway, other piece of news. Why don't you tell us about what's going on with the AlphaTauri rebrand?
Yeah, so it'll be a very big change next year. Sorry, I've lost the name of what it will be.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird name. You got to get it exactly correct.
It's not on here anymore. I don't know. I had it in my notes.
It's Hugo Boss Bulls Racing, which, okay.
So we heard of that, what, earlier today? Or was it yesterday we talked about it?
Yeah, I think it happened yesterday in Europe, which is between, or no, wait. No, it would be today. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Either way, we just recently found out about it. So Hugo Boss, Red Bull.
Bulls, not Red Bull.
Oh, okay. Bulls.
Or Bull. I think Hugo Boss Bull or Bulls Racing. That's what they're
gotcha. And then also, you sent me something today. You sent it in our F1 group chat. About
this is
AlphaTauri using the RB19 as their next car.
So I don't know how literally to take that. This is what Crofty said. It's like, this is coming from, this is pretty high. Like, Crofty isn't a leaker. I don't know how to take this, because if you take it literally, are they just going to pick up the car and send it to Maranello? Or are they saying they're just going to use the concept? Or are they going to do like a Haas where they just use as much of, I don't know what's
like
legal.
A Haas Ferrari type thing, where they just use as much as they legally can.
But I thought they were doing that anyway. So it seems like they're not. Maybe
they had two different developmental teams on it.
I mean, they definitely do.
Well, yeah, but
I don't know.
I wonder why.
I mean, why?
I mean, obviously they're going to give the most money to Red Bull, but
I mean, theoretically, if Formula One works the way that it's supposed to work, which it doesn't, but just roll with me here for a second.
Yeah,
the RB19 should be the worst car in the field next year.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's everybody says 1.1, 1.2 second difference on their car from the previous year. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, if nothing changes,
it would still be back at the pack.
Yes, it would be back at the pack. Yeah, so it's okay.
Maybe they're giving them this as start from here. Y'all figure it out how to make it even better.
We know this car at least works.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know. But if they show up and it's literally the serial number, that is the car.
Oh, yeah. That would be hilarious.
I mean,
Danny you even see some old paint on it from the Red Bull logo.
it gets scratched. And it's does it say Oracle?
Wait, under Ford coming soon?
They just instead of it's Hugo Boss Bull Racing, they just spray paint Hugo Boss onto the side of it. So something else that I think is interesting about that is apparently part of the deal is they're gonna make Hugo Boss buy all of AlphaTauri, the clothing brand.
Yeah,
which I guess makes sense. But
because without AlphaTauri's clothing brand is already doing kind of bad right now.
Yeah,
financially. So
I think
that makes sense.
I think that keeps them out from having to pay Formula One much, because I think if they buy AlphaTauri, they buy all of AlphaTauri's assets, including the race
Formula One team.
Yeah. So, but again, it's a little weird because I don't know how much of it is. I would love to talk to a Red Bull accountant for several hours. I have many questions about how all of this works. So anyway, that's crazy, and I am kind of surprised that's what they went with. I mean, I knew we weren't going to be correct, and they also said maybe Orlen, which is what we did say.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
I mean, I guess it'll still be a white car on the grid. It's going to be basically the same team. I don't know. But another thing that I noticed, and this is unconfirmed, this is a Nick is watching too much F1 theory.
Yeah.
This is not as bad as my normal harebrained theories. I think Daniel Ricciardo is using a Red Bull steering wheel, which I know is not that interesting. But when he first was in the car at the last race, they cut to a shot of him, and on the back of the his steering wheel, it didn't say AlphaTauri on it, which it normally does.
Yeah.
And then they added it later in the weekend. And then I haven't been able to get an onboard view of Yuki's steering wheel from the front, but I think it's different. So I think they literally took, because he's been training on a Red Bull steering wheel. So anyway, that would all kind of correlate the data that maybe they're trying to just, I don't know, just go back, just be Toro Rosso, do exactly what you did before. I don't know why this is an issue, because Toro Rosso, they called it their junior team back then.
Yeah.
So anyway, Red Bull just providing us as much entertainment as they can. Last thing before we get into it unless you have anything else.
No, I think that's it.
I want to talk about our bet for the season because I did the math today. Did you too do the math?
No, I was actually like, I walked into here on the phone with my dad explaining our bet.
Okay.
So that's pretty funny you're talking about it.
I don't know what I'm going to be able to talk you into, but let's just start. So currently the score is 861 to 470.
Yeah.
So you are beating me by 400, a full Max Verstappen. You're beating me by. So without Max and Lewis, so if we took both of them away, you're beating me 547 to 322.
Correct.
So I am offering you a double or nothing of sorts, which is this. The worst case scenario for you is I manage to win and we get nothing.
Okay.
But you can either get like a nicer one thing or two like normal price things if you win. Because I don't know. I didn't sit down and look it out that much. So I could actually screw myself.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be more interesting if we take Max and Lewis out of it, who are our individual two highest scoring drivers.
Yes.
Because I think there's going to be a legit race for P2, and I think that would win it. So potentially. Okay. So you don't have to answer right now. Maybe I probably should have done some more math on this, but I think it'd just be funny to do it. You still have a 200 point lead instead of a 410 point lead.
Yeah, I mean it sounds pretty good to me, honestly.
I think maybe I could win. I think if Alonso keeps tanking and Checo has some more bad qualifying, so maybe. So this would actually make me pull for Max to beat Checo, so that way I would beat you.
Yeah. So without Hamilton, though.
Without Hamilton, I have 322 points. That's the thing. So I don't know. The only problem for me is the only driver that I think could score me enough points is Lewis.
Yeah.
But
you still want to take that risk?
I got to offer you something.
Hey, I'm always down to take a risk.
But see, like, even if you only just dropped Max, you'd still be beating me by a little less than 100 points.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think we should do something about it. So by the end of the summer break, let's think of something.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
But that's where we're at. So I have no shot of actually winning. So, all right, sprint time. What do you want to talk about the sprint?
Well, you obviously know there is something major to talk about in the sprint.
All right, well, tell me about it.
Between our two drivers.
Go on.
Well, I'll start with Red Bull.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Let's just do it like we don't need to go through every single team for this one.
No. Max won, took the victory. Didn't get a grand slam, but he did win the sprint. Checo DNF'd after some damage from Hamilton, leaving a gaping hole in the right side of his car.
Yeah.
And Hamilton got a 5-second penalty.
An absurd penalty.
A 5-second penalty.
Listen.
And this man DNF'd. It could have been 9 points, bro. Could have been 8. But it's 0.
It would have been at most 7, and you know it.
Shut up.
How would it have been 9 points? They don't do fast lap.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, 8. Sorry.
Aha, your point's invalid. No, I was kidding. Well, Lewis's penalty was so harsh. Come on. You can't honestly tell me. I messaged a few people, and a few people were like, that aren't Red Bull fans. They're like, no, Lewis deserved it. And I was like, come on. No, he didn't. It wasn't that bad. He squeezed.
There's a gaping hole in the side of Checo's car.
It looked like Checo's fault to me, but I thought Racing Incident was fair.
Legitimately like this big of a hole in his car.
Yeah, so the damage and the
for audio listeners, that was it's big.
Well, okay, it's like I was gonna say the size of like a small Pelican case, but it doesn't mean anything to anybody.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like a pillow. Just imagine like a normal pillow. It's like that size.
Okay, but like just because there's damage on a car does not mean that it was not their fault.
False. If this was Hamilton, roles would have been reversed.
Yes, I know. But since it's not, we're going to keep the rules the way they are. And I'm telling you that he did not deserve this penalty. And a lot of people...
Dude, it should have been worse. You're lucky it's a 5-second penalty.
You think it should have been worse?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Come on. It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
Dude, it took him down to 7th.
Yeah.
Like...
Should have been 20th.
What? Well, it couldn't have been that because Checo DNF'd first.
Sorry. Should have been, 18th.
Dude, okay. There's no there's no way it was that bad. Like, it was. Well, let's see. When did it happen at the start?
Yeah, it was
at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, dude. Like, there's so many things, but at the most, it's a first lap. Like, just let it be an incident, and I don't know, man. It was super harsh, and the commentators agree with me.
Listen, I'm fine that it was a 5-second penalty. I'm not. I like when I saw that it was a 5-second penalty. I'm like, at least he got something. I wasn't like screaming at my TV, like saying it needs to be more.
Well, I was screaming, saying why.
Yeah, I know you were, but
yeah. Well,
anyway, so poor
okay. Well, let us know in the comments. Even though I know you're all gonna disagree with me.
Oh wait, sorry, that's not the Checo song.
Checo needs a song.
Checo Perez.
I guess it's kind of the Mexican F1 theme, which is a bop.
I love it.
Well, sure, we'll say that Lewis got a penalty.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
but he didn't deserve it.
We're not just saying that. He did.
Well, Crofty said, "quote It's harsh." No, sorry, Martin said, "quote That was harsh."
Oh, okay, so it's not real.
Yeah, that's right.
Crofty has to say it.
Oh, Crofty has to say it
to you.
So that means that AlphaTauri is going to literally be using the Red Bull next year.
Yes.
Dude, I would love it so much. They don't even paint it. They just show up. They do no development, and they just save all of their money until that would be incredible.
And they can spend it all on catering.
Like genuinely a good idea.
Yeah.
Genuinely a good idea. All right. Well, I think that's all for the sprint, other than Oscar Piastri did amazing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I knew he wasn't going to win, but he did great.
Alonso also DNF'd.
Oh, yes.
He spun out of the race.
Very surprising.
Yeah, so.
Not a podium.
Nothing else crazy from the sprint, but.
It was one of those, it was raining, and they started. Like, I appreciate FIA's safety, so I'm not, like, coming after them big time about this. It's Spa, but I thought they could have started a lap or two sooner. Yeah. And I think they probably would have if nothing had happened recently. So. That was, as a fan, it was disappointing, but I get it. And we had a good race, for the most part.
For sure.
And penalties were unfair. All right. So anyway, let's move on to the race. So what you should know from qualifying, which happened, was that Max barely scooted in and into Q3. And this is qualifying for the actual race, and then ended up getting P1 after that.
He barely scooted in.
He did.
When Lewis was on pole last week.
Oh yeah, okay.
You were screaming. He's like, he's the best.
Well, he had a shunt. Okay, I'm just saying Max almost got out of Q2.
Listen,
it was close.
Every pole position is squeaking in, honestly.
No, hold on. I'm not talking about his pole position. His pole position, he destroyed everybody. No, I'm talking about when he almost got out because of their tire strategy.
I thought you were talking about like.
No. He got pole by 0.8.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he destroyed everybody.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the best. This might be his best pole position lap.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say. Other than I think I would actually give him credit for Saudi Arabia 2021, even though he crashed, because he was up by like 1.5.
Like his famous lap.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I wish we watched.
I wish he could have finished that, dude.
I'm so glad he didn't. Well, it didn't even matter after the way that whole race went.
Yeah. That's
got to be top 5 craziest races in F1 history. Like, I've rewatched it a couple times. It gives me anxiety now, and like 3 red flags. Anyway, So yes, what I meant is he barely scooted into Q3 and then destroyed everybody.
I thought you meant his pole position.
No, I would not. I'm not that crazy.
Okay,
no, he destroyed everybody. Checo had a good qualifying. I would say a lot of people had several. Like Ferrari did pretty well. Yeah. Checo did well. So good on them. Checo didn't have the best sprint shootout, but it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't matter anyway. Well, actually, yeah, it did. If he had done better, he wouldn't have hit Lewis. So, I mean, Lewis
he wouldn't have hit Lewis.
Yes,
did you hear that?
Yes. I thought you were going to miss it. All right. So, anyway, but Max had a penalty. So, at least he couldn't lead the whole race.
Yep. That's
and that
true.
was the most exciting part about the Grand Prix going into it, was knowing that he was starting in 6th, which I was very excited for. And how did his race go?
Do you think Leclerc thought he had a chance?
No. Did you see the way he defended from Checo?
Oh yeah,
That man did not defend at all.
He's like, yeah, we're just letting him by.
Yeah, we're here for P3. I think he basically gave up P2 as well.
At this point?
Like,
Or
no.
like, do you mean just
No, I
at the
mean in the race.
Oh, okay,
in the race,
okay.
I think he let Checo by basically.
Oh yeah.
So, like, why even bother? So,
I mean, when it's early on like that, I don't think he wants to risk anything bad happening.
Yeah, it was
against that car.
That was smarter than old Leclerc. Old Leclerc would have been going nuts.
Yeah.
So, anyway, tell us about how Max's race ended up turning out.
Well, he took home his 8th straight victory so far in this season, 8th straight victory. Like you said, from P6, he had a gearbox change. That's what the penalty was. He overtook Checo for the lead on lap 16 from P6, so I thought that was pretty interesting. Checo started at P2, like you said. I was actually just really happy to see him get into Q2. Just really happy. I was watching qualifying and I was like, wait, he's in. He's in. Stay in.
You had my pole position reaction just for Checo.
Exactly. Just getting into Q2. Then when he made it into Q3, I'm like, we're back for a week at least.
For the summer break, we're back.
Yeah, sorry. We got like a month and a half. So another 1-2 for the Bulls. Very happy to see them both on the podium again. I know the team is. I know Checo is specifically because, I mean, it's been rough for him the past few weeks. But we're getting back into business.
And they broke the record now, like for sure. Because
Yes.
there was a little bit of debate, but now it's 12 in a row in a season.
Yep.
And we'll see how far it gets. It could be the whole season.
Yeah.
I know I keep saying it. I'm going to just keep saying it. Monza. Monza's it. Monza's where it's going to be broken.
Okay.
And if not, I like the joke of them going the whole way and then Lewis winning at Abu Dhabi.
That'd be crazy.
Which is actually Max won Abu Dhabi the year before that, and it was like or actually I don't know if it was Abu Dhabi. They were like, oh no, Red Bull's going to be good next year, so just flip it back.
There we go.
Anyway, the biggest thing that happened in this race, I want to jump to talking about Sainz and Piastri.
Yeah, I was hoping we could talk about this first.
So in the first corner, Sainz was on the left and Piastri was on the right, and they turned and they collided, and it resulted in both of them DNFing. I know Sainz is your driver, but Piastri is involved too. So
Piastri DNF'd pretty much immediately, and Sainz lasted till the 23rd lap. So
why? Okay, do you think they left him out too long? What's your opinion about that?
Sainz? Yeah, I mean, they probably could have taken a lot less damage to the car if they had brought him back in. But I think they were
they banking on rain? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, probably. I think that I think the rain was a okay-ish call because, I mean, it said it was supposed to. It did for a little bit, but I don't think because, I mean, everybody was saying that the rain wasn't going to last that long.
Yeah.
I think they should have just pulled him out when it happened, or once they saw that damage.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
So 5% is a huge amount. So but what did Carlos Sainz do after the race?
Are you talking about his interview?
No, I'm talking about his post.
Oh, I didn't see his post.
Oh, you don't know about his post? Okay, well then I'll happily tell you.
Yeah, fill me in.
This is the most.
Where did he post it?
The worst PR stunt. Twitter. I don't even. It's Twitter or X. Dude. Yes, he posted and blamed Oscar on Twitter, which I don't know anybody that has done that like this. And he's a rookie. Like, Piastri's a rookie. Like, even if Piastri just went straight and then turned left and intentionally T-boned Carlos Sainz, you do not go on and post about it like the way he did.
Yeah.
He wasn't like an absolute jerk in the post, but just even mentioning his name and mentioning it was bad. Did you find it?
I got it now.
So I kind of thought he was going to pull it down eventually. Not to mention, he's teammates with like his best friend Lando Norris. So like, and it's his old team. I don't know, man. Carlos is like a negative air around him right now. I get this vibe. Like, do you feel that?
He's just not in a good. He's not. I don't think he's in a good spot with Ferrari right now. I don't see how. I don't know how long this is gonna last.
With Sainz and Ferrari?
Yeah. Sainz is getting too frustrated with them.
So you think Sainz would leave? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I think it could be a mutual thing, honestly. I think.
Well, where would he go?
I don't know, but I just have had a feeling in my head for the past 2 or 3 races. I just feel like he's getting tired of it. And I mean, I know there's a lot of teams that are doing just god awful right now, but
I mean, he's in P7.
Yeah. But I mean, just think about how many calls we've seen over the radio of him just frustrated with a strategy call that's the most simplest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I hesitate to disagree with you. I just can't imagine someone leaving Ferrari like that.
Well, yeah,
especially because he has nowhere to go. Really.
Yeah, I'm not saying I think he's going to leave. I think it's going to come to a breaking point between him and the team at some point.
Well, do you agree reading it that he shouldn't have posted?
Oh yeah, I don't think he should do that. I mean,
Max isn't a big Twitter guy.
I mean, you could say that in a post-race interview or something like that. Sure. I mean, multiple people have said.
Yeah, in a heated moment. But this is thought out. He tweeted it later in multiple languages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he made 2 different tweets. So
I don't know. I just think my metric is if Max wouldn't have done it, it's too far.
If Max
Max
doesn't
is
do it,
the
don't
most
do it.
I can take. And Max does not go on Twitter and
Yeah.
blast people. So, and now Max doesn't really use Twitter, but
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So anyway, to round off his teammate, Leclerc, they got on the podium. Sorry, I'm used to saying penalties for them. And it's so weird is even though all of this happened, I would still call this a good weekend for Ferrari. This is his best. This is the best that you could possibly have for Ferrari. I think. I mean, they both could have scored points, but they looked solid. They didn't melt their tires this time. It's looking a little better for them. So way to go, Leclerc. Yeah. So I'll talk about Mercedes real fast, unless you have something else you want to say about Ferrari.
Lando didn't get a chance to break another trophy.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna talk about his teammate. So I mean, there's not much to talk about, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
He started P7 and finished there. There's not much else to talk about it. I just kind of wanted to say he didn't get the chance to break another trophy.
But there was a trophy broken.
Just not his.
Well, yeah.
Or wait, from him?
No, Checo broke it. They broke Checo's trophy. Yeah, which just looked like a boat. Which actually I kind of dig the trophy a little bit. They broke another trophy. I mean, I get it, Red Bull. You're running out of shelf space. Whatever.
They're just finding excuses to get rid of them.
Dude, I love their reaction though. Max is laughing, but I feel like Checo's no.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Checo's what else do I got to do around here? So anyway, so Mercedes, kind of a meh weekend, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis got P4. It was, it was fine. He didn't have the pace that I thought they should have, but they didn't really have a chance to get any dry running in to test their updates, and they had porpoising again, which is just awesome. And I'm not too worried about it. Mercedes keeps doing this thing where they say their best race for the year is blank, and they keep changing it.
It's to the next race and to the next race.
No, they said Silverstone for a long time.
Yeah,
then they didn't say anything, and now they're saying that the Dutch Grand Prix, which is the next race, should be a good track for them. So I'm trying not to sip the Kool-Aid too much, but I'm sipping it hard. So I had about a gallon on the way over here.
We know you are.
George had a kind of a quiet P6. He's pounding in some good race pace. I would say his qualifying form hasn't been great recently.
Yeah.
But he's doing at least what he needs to do. There's a bunch of memes of people saying bring Bottas back and all that stuff, but I don't think that's justified. I think he's doing a very good job. And it's the same people last year that were saying, "Oh, Lewis is done. Look at George outperforming him." It's just you guys don't.
That was me.
That was you.
That was me.
All right. Well, how about you tell us about Alonso or if not Alonso, somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, Alonso got some decent points. He started 9th and moved to 5th, so he got at least some decent points for the team. Other than that, not too much.
I mean, that's a solid race. Not a podium, but a solid race. They claim to have found their issues and are planning to fix them. And then their team principal said, "Get back on the podium." I was just stop saying that.
Hey, now I'm gonna have to start rooting for him again if you really want this bet.
Oh, Aston Martin.
Yeah,
this is true. What I mean, I see it. I got to pull for sure. So I'm trying to think who's my next best driver. George Russell, I guess.
Yeah, George. Yeah.
Well, I have Leclerc. I do have Leclerc.
You do have
Leclerc
Leclerc.
could pull some points, but I don't have that much faith in Ferrari. Anyway, so Lance Stroll got P9, showed some decent pace, kind of typical Stroll area. It's amazing when their car is good, Stroll's in P8 or 9, and when their car sucks, Stroll's also in P8 or 9. So, it seems kind of like might be his place.
He's just the middleman.
He's the middleman. Dude, just get rid of him. Just do it. Don't be scared. Call Alpine and get coached up about how to fire somebody and just do it. Yeah, just do it. Who else do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Alpine's race? Gasly's race?
Yeah, we can talk about that. Ocon started P14, made it all the way to P8, so that was a pretty good race from him. I know Alpine was happy, and so was he. So
yeah, I thought
our shirtless hero.
Well, first of all, I think Gasly had an overall pretty good weekend. Yeah. He got P11 in the race, but he got P3 in the sprints.
Yep.
And after all of this, them getting a P3, I was like, man, come on, this is it. They got
development.
They got a really good driver lineup. I don't know, man.
It's rough, dude. I hate it for him now.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going, but it can't be up. So that's kind of how I feel. So, let's see who else.
Talk about Alfa Romeo.
Sure, yeah, I was gonna say Alfa Romeo or AlphaTauri.
Yeah, Zhou finished P13, started from P17. So we're not gonna see Alfa Romeo get some points, I don't think, for a while.
Yeah,
but
P12 for Bottas. So,
they're showing some good pace in the backfield, but there's just not too much going on.
Yeah, nothing to say about them. I mean, when I was updating our points tally, and Bottas's points has not changed since last time I did it, which was the third race or something.
Yeah.
So not good.
He's just cruising, man.
Dude, I don't know what to think of that team anymore. I kind of feel like they're just on pause. Mm-hmm. Oh, they did have an ugly livery. So it was actually worse of a weekend. Oh, yeah. That green is so terrible.
Oh, yeah. The kick streaming thing?
Yeah. Worst livery of the year, I think.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
It's so bad.
Or, I mean, the partnership obviously is going to bring the money, but, it just didn't look good.
Yeah, dude. I almost think they were listen, if you'll make your car ugly, as a joke, we'll give you $1 million.
Did you see that they put streamers' names on the inside of the halo?
No.
So they were 3 or 4 actual kick streamers that were on the inside of the halo. There's one that just swapped over to kick from Twitch named XQC, which was one of the biggest on Twitch, and his name was right in the middle of the halo, and I saw it and I was like,
now I've never heard of Kick until this, so I'll say that.
I knew about it. It's fairly new.
So is it a trying to kill Twitch kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much. So Twitch, a little
everybody hates
out
Twitch,
of context thing, not related to Formula One. So people started gambling on Twitch, just on websites and stuff, and then Twitch would ban them. And so Kick was started pretty much so you could do whatever on stream. And for the first few weeks, literally anything was on Kick. Until they started moderating it a lot better.
That's why my face changed. I was anything?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
For nearly anything.
That's not good.
Yeah, it wasn't. But they moderated it, got back, and now they're trying to kill Twitch. They pay their streamers more, percentage-wise.
What's the worst thing that's happened? Do you know anything off the top of your
Kick?
head? Yeah, on
I
Kick.
mean, there's 18+ stuff.
Yeah. But has there been a murder?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I mean, that's happened on Twitch technically before, but that accidental stuff like that.
Streaming is so weird because it's let's say we're streaming and then the roof caves in and we both die. It's we weren't violating the guidelines.
Yeah,
it just happens.
It just happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that clip's gonna live on forever.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So
that's the drama of Kick and Twitch, and why I still thought it was weird to see Kick on a Formula One car. While I think it's great for their brand and stuff like that, I thought it was weird from Alfa Romeo to accept that. But the only reason I think they did is because of Stake.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because Stake, I mean, it's a gambling website, obviously, and Kick promotes the crap out of Stake.
That makes sense. Maybe it was Stake. I don't know, but Steak. My voice cracked. Maybe it was Steak and Kick that worked together.
It probably was. I mean, if Steak's their priority sponsor, then they're probably hey, we're gonna get you another sponsor, and you're gonna slap it on the dang roof of your car.
I mean, as a video person, they got us talking about it, and
that's true.
So it worked. I'm just saying it could have been cooler. So
yeah, for sure.
I could have been saying only positive things about it. So anyway, Haas. Haas had a Haas weekend.
Yeah.
P15 for K-Mag.
P18 for Hulkenberg, and the only reason he wasn't dead last was because of the 2 DNFs.
Yeah, so good.
Woo! Great job, Haas. You're doing great, buddy.
I don't even know what Haas is anymore.
It's.
Did you hear they might be Alfa Romeo next year?
Yes, I did.
Dude, you cannot confuse us like that.
God. I saw that and I was like, what?
So I'm so confused because Alfa Romeo is supposed to be Alfa Romeo until 26.
Yeah.
So we have 2 Alphas.
Their contract with Sauber is up next year or is done next year.
It's already up.
Haas. Yeah. That's why.
Interesting.
That's why we're hearing that.
So could Audi be on the grid next year?
I mean, maybe.
Technically. They'd
That's
have
what
to have
I heard.
some other
I can
title
do a
spots.
little bit of research real quick. if you
Yeah,
want me
go
to.
ahead. Go ahead. I have a couple of things I want to say. So, that is very interesting. I mean, they could still be WTs and stuff. So, I'm very concerned about Haas.
Yeah, starting from the 2024 season, Alfa Romeo can sign a sponsorship deal with a Haas Formula One team worth roughly about $20 million US.
Well, they're gonna do it. I mean, if less MoneyGram.
Yeah,
but I kind of feel like MoneyGram isn't gonna stay.
probably not.
Dude, come on,
at the end of
Chipotle.
2023, the Alpha title sponsorship of the Sauber team will conclude.
At 2024. Sorry, what
at
did you
the
say?
end of 2023, this is on Racing News 365.
Yeah.
At the end of 2023, the Alpha title sponsorship of the Sauber team will conclude, with the Swiss name returning to the grid as they prepare for Audi's arrival in 26.
So
Maybe not.
it's gonna be Sauber.
Yeah.
Huh. I never thought about that. Wow. That's actually kind of cool.
Mm.
So, wow. There's so many, the teams are going to be so different next year, like already. Even though I feel like the drivers, I say this, but I'm sure it's going to get crazy. I don't think the drivers changes are going to be that insane.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so anyway,
I'm still just wondering what's going to happen with AlphaTauri.
Yeah, well,
Like driver-wise,
I mean,
if they're going to keep both of them or not.
who else would they put? Liam
I don't
Lawson?
know. Yeah, that's
already?
the thing. But I don't know if they're going to hold him out for another season.
I think they should.
Yeah.
I think they should. Not just because of Danny Rick. I just think just don't make too many changes at once. It's always like the death sentence. So that's kind of how I feel.
Is he a reserve
Who?
driver
Technically,
for Alpha?
yeah, yes.
AlphaTauri.
I think all drivers in Red Bull are Red Bull drivers.
Okay.
So they're all Red Bull drivers.
Okay.
So that's how they're able to do this. Like,
Gotcha.
So because technically Danny Rick is not an AlphaTauri driver, he's on loan.
He's a loan from Red Bull.
So they do have the extra space to pay another driver, so that will get interesting because, like the driver salaries out of the cost cap, it's like that gets interesting. So I don't know, but if I had to guess, I would say it's going to stay how it is right now.
Okay.
So and De Vries will probably never see the light of day again. he's gonna go back to Formula E or something and probably destroy. So
Oh yeah.
because he is a good driver. Dang it. I actually had another joke. So let's talk about Williams, but I want to talk about Sargent specifically. So tell us about Sargent's race and I'll tell you my joke.
Not too much other than a P17 finish. There wasn't just much of a race from him. Finished ahead of Hulkenberg, but that was it.
So our friend Kendra is jokingly hates De Vries, like as a joke, like not like these people that are actually like, because it's like haha, because she really likes Sargent.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if De Vries takes Sargent's seat?
Oh man,
That is not the craziest thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking to Toto. Toto's known for this kind of stuff, like getting drivers in. He got Ocon his current seat.
Yeah.
So
I haven't thought about that. Wow.
it could happen.
It could actually happen.
So that leads me into, does Sargent deserve to keep his seat at this point? Because there's 2 races that they were saying that like he needs to perform.
Dude, okay,
But now Albon only got P13. Sorry. Albon only got Albon did not get points. He got P14, sorry. At this
they
race.
have to keep Albon.
Oh no, they're keeping
For
Albon.
sure.
They're keeping. I'm not debating that. You know,
yeah.
Did you read that Albon turned down 3 offers from other teams? 3 offers. There's not 3 teams worse than Williams on
Wow, I wonder who they were.
I don't know, but I respect that. I mean, he's doing exactly what Valtteri Bottas needs to do, which is just like ride it out. Like he can't do wrong. Worst case scenario, he crashes, but he hasn't been doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
And he's been having his, obviously he's never going to go back to Red Bull. So like, why bother?
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, so Albon only got that high. So they didn't perform as well as they thought, but they're supposed to be speed demons on a speed track. So,
man,
Sargent's starting to concern me, is what I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, him and Nick both had 0 points.
No. Nick de Vries has scored points in Formula 1.
He has?
Remember Monza last year, P8.
I'm talking about of the current season.
Yes, but he scored it in a worse Williams.
He did.
I'm just saying it's possible. I don't know who would replace him, but I'm just saying in general, do you think Logan Sargent's seat is in jeopardy, or do you think they're going to give him another year?
They're probably going to give him another year, but I mean, they could. See, I don't know. That's the thing. With this situation specifically, they can kind of succeed either way. Because I think if you gave Nick de Vries another year, it'd be good. If you gave Logan Sargent another year, it may be good. Maybe.
So here's why I think he's safe.
Okay.
You would have to make, unless they do something crazy in the offseason, which is possible.
Yeah.
He has to be in the car for the 2 U.S. races that are left. And they are very late. I mean, Vegas is the second to last race. And Duracell's a big sponsor. I'm sure they love Logan Sargent.
Yeah, that's what I just thought of before you started talking was like, he brings the American fans.
You can't kick him out of the seat and then be like, hey, Coda.
Yeah.
And that's what they would need to make the decision around then.
Yeah.
So they could keep him until after and then put De Vries in because, I mean, it's not like he's going anywhere else.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's true.
It's possible. But
you've got a point. Yeah, the American part of this definitely plays a part because, like you said, they can't show up without him now.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like he had a bad home race. Like, I don't know, man. It's just not like I keep feeling myself making excuses for him. And I don't know. He needs to match as close as he can to whatever Albon does.
Okay, if this was Stroll, what would you be saying?
I'd be saying he needs to go. But here's the thing is Stroll has been in Formula 1 for a lot longer. But also I still think Sargent might be a future amazing F1 driver.
Yeah.
I think they just threw him in too fast. Like they told him he was going to get a seat before the end of his first F2 season.
Yeah.
And then he starts like being careful because he's got to get at least so high in the championship to get enough points. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that delays
a lot of pressure.
And that's why Red Bull is being smart with Liam Lawson. They're letting him just do his thing and develop. I see
what you're talking about.
So, and I'm telling you, Liam Lawson, the second he gets in that seat, he's going to end up at Red Bull and be amazing and maybe even be a world champion.
Like a Max
situation. He seems like he will be.
Yeah.
Now, stuff can happen, but
obviously, yeah.
But yeah, I think the funniest thing about all these driver moves, let's talk about AlphaTauri because we didn't talk about how they did. But I think the funniest thing is it seems like to me, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, that all roads lead to Daniel Ricciardo back at Red Bull.
Yes.
Eventually.
Like I could see it within the next 2 years.
I think 25.
Yeah.
If I had to like put money on it.
Yeah, I could see it in about 2 years.
Because Checo's contract ends after next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't see him getting an extension.
I don't see him renewing it.
And that's okay. He'll retire.
Yeah.
That'll be it. I mean, no. Oh, he has a clause in his contract. We also recently learned where he cannot be demoted to AlphaTauri.
Oh yeah.
Which is, I don't know.
That's pretty
mistake, maybe?
No.
You think I respect the I'm staying in or I'm done mentality.
Yeah, if he goes to AlphaTauri, it's just he's done right after, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's
coming okay, because the thing is, he was at Racing Point, he was the second driver.
Yeah.
Like he was treated as the second driver. He was the one that was like got kicked to the curb.
Yeah, he did.
So,
he got mistreated big time.
I don't think he wanted that to happen again.
Yeah, but he is he knew he was going to be the second driver.
I'm not talking about like second driver as in like you don't have prio, but like they didn't care at all.
Checo just needs to, for the Mexican fans, win his home race in the next year.
All will be good.
In fact, just do it this year. Do it this year. Checo, you don't even have to beat Max in qualifying. It would actually be better if you didn't.
Listen, Checo, if you're listening.
He's listening.
I know you are. Just tell me the details of Max's hotel for the Mexican Grand Prix. You don't have to worry about it. He won't be there. I got you.
That's a true Checo fan right there.
Yeah.
So
Max, if you're listening, don't worry. I'm just lying.
Listen, obviously I want Lewis to win, but he's not going to win the Mexican Grand Prix because that's a terrible track for them. So I want Checo to win that race and then just ride off into the sunset, which is a beautiful sunset in Mexico City at the time of year. So
I just can't wait for that theme song.
Yes, me too. I'm so glad they did it. All right, we need to get back on track.
Oh yeah,
AlphaTauri, Yuki, same spot as always. P10, just hammered it in 1 point at a time, chipping away. That he had a decent race, had some good fights. Fought with Albon some. So
yeah, Ricardo started P19. I feel like he just had a rough weekend with his setup. He's just still getting used to it. I mean, after being in a Red Bull sim for so long, and then you get to this, I feel like it's a big change up. He said it's a big change up. So I think
you can say worse. It's worse.
Oh yeah. He did get up to P16. So I mean, he only gained 3 places, but I have a feeling things are going to be better after the summer break. Because most people are actually going to take a break, but I feel like he's gonna
train.
Yeah.
Yeah. So winner and loser of this race. It's kind of a tough one.
Winner, I mean, there's not really much. Winner, I'll give it to Checo because he actually had a pretty good race. Loser, probably like Carlos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I'm gonna give it to Carlos. Yeah.
I'm gonna give my loser to Piastri because I think Piastri got screwed and he got mistreated on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I'm calling Carlos a loser for doing that to him on Twitter.
Okay. All right. So they both lose. It's a different way for the same situation. Yes. Winner.
Like I agree with you.
Winner. I'm gonna give it to Leclerc. I think Leclerc had a decent weekend.
Yeah.
I think, if you're getting on the podium in this year when 2 Red Bulls are on the podium, you did a good job. Yeah. So that's what I'll say. And the last thing that we need to talk about is McLaren delusion syndrome.
I knew you were going to talk about this.
So you said it was over.
Listen, I commented on our post today. I said it aged roughly. Okay.
I mean, they took a gamble. I respect their gamble. I don't respect
who, McLaren?
Yes. Yeah. I don't respect their meteorology skills. But I mean, I'm not rubbing it in. I don't cherish them doing bad.
Yeah.
I cherish them doing just slightly worse than Mercedes.
Yep. I knew it. Yep.
Hey, listen, they could be P2 in the constructors. I am cool with that. I just want to be P1.
There you go.
We can have a tight race.
Super simple.
Dude,
obviously.
Dude, come on. A year where Max sucks, like Red Bull's like P5.
Oh, okay. So when he dies.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a stroke. That's so not funny. I don't want Max to have a stroke. I don't want anybody to get the sunlight in.
Crazed Mercedes fan says Max needs to have a stroke.
I am crazed, okay? I haven't seen the top step in the podium in a while. Listen, Lewis and Lando battle it out the whole season.
That'd be great.
Come on, that'd be so great. And then Lewis edges it out. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Dude, Lando's going to win after Lewis is gone.
What if, hear me out. What if, we just gave Max or gave everybody on the field, a 2-lap head start?
I think he's not at this race.
So then,
certain races he could still win.
Yeah. But then it's at least a good race for a while, and then Max is just do.
I think Max should start the back every weekend. I think once he...
Well, no, because then you can't say that Hamilton's the best because he came back from P20 when Max will do it.
He's got a better car.
Yeah.
This is true.
You want to still hold Hamilton that standard.
Also, Lando, I just want to say that you made some comments about Lewis doesn't know how to race, like you're saying, and he's like they're squabbling over points that don't mean anything. Well, how does P8 feel, buddy? Okay, feel familiar? Okay, fine, P7. P7 does it feel familiar? Because that was a reality check that it's not always perfect for you guys. Even though I know you're gonna crush us at. Maybe not Zandvoort, but probably at Monza. So, and by us, I mean Mercedes.
I forgot to talk about this when we were talking about Williams, though. The comparison of straight line speed between the Williams and McLarens.
Yeah.
Was so bad.
Really?
Did you hear them talking about it? They did like a side by side, I think, or like the little graphic of like a side by side speed on like a straight, and like Williams is just like a Williams is so much faster than that McLaren on a straight.
It's insane. That's why I'm half joking but serious when I say like Albon can win Monza.
Oh yeah.
And this is like there's only one of two things that can happen. The curse will either be broken or Red Bull will win.
Yeah.
Or Red Bull won't win.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
If Red Bull doesn't win, I
mean, Checo could win. That's the thing. Only Max
can't win
for the curse. But traditionally, the curse kind of extends to the teammate as well. Like it's like the curse has never been the team. Yeah, the team as a whole has a bad weekend.
Gotcha.
But the curse is just about the main driver, and it keeps happening. So I don't know. We'll see, but it would be awesome.
I know it would
unless
be
it's
for
just unless it's just well. See, the thing is, they've crashed. It's not just like he doesn't win.
They've crashed.
Yeah. So like
what for like the past 5 years or something?
Yeah, it's been a while. So I don't know. We'll see, but it would be very awesome if like Checo and Max would hit each other.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I'd be so down. I wouldn't have any complaints if Albon won that race.
Oh yeah.
0 complaints. Unless like Max hit Lewis or something.
Yeah, you'd get to start the podcast.
This is true. That's proof that Red Bull is just having an insane time. The fact that they haven't crashed.
Yeah.
Which is just it baffles me that there's been no. He almost crashed this weekend. He had the little shunt going up Rouge, but still he didn't crash. And I thought like, this is it. When I watched it, wait, hold on. We forgot something super important. And I'm going to upset specifically my roommate if we don't talk about this.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
We need to talk about Max's team radio with...
his engineer?
We didn't talk about it. Okay,
yes, I forgot about this.
So in the sprint, Max is like yelling at him, and he goes like, okay, Max, you can decide the tire pressures, the fuel levels, all this stuff. And then in the race was even more entertaining because there's like a constant back and forth.
Yep.
My favorite part is when he said... Max, what are the tires? How do you feel about them? And he goes like, I don't know. I can't see the radar. Like that. I was just like, it was awesome, dude.
I loved it, dude. I felt like I was watching a reality TV show.
Dude, it's the best part. I want a whole Drive to Survive episode of just clips of them talking.
I wonder if they're going to put that on.
Oh, they're going to put that in.
Yeah.
They got to make it seem like Red Bull had somewhat of a tough time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which they did.
I don't know. When they were winning Mercedes in 2020, that season, they didn't really put them in much.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It could be a case that they just kind of breeze over them.
Yeah.
I would love it so much if it's like they're talking like Mercedes is like, oh, our floor is so bad, and McLaren's like, oh, our steering wheel sucks, and then it cuts to just like Checo like blowing out his nose on the morning of what was it, Monaco or something, like that's their troubles. Yeah, so that was my favorite part of the whole weekend. It
was so good.
Do you think they're actually like getting angry at each other, or do you think it's just kind of like it's just their working relationship at this point?
I don't know. Red Bull as a whole is just so serious about everything. I feel like obviously there's some joking matters that they're not like super serious about, but like his engineer, Checo's engineer, are all like just like dead set.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no like happiness.
Yeah, dude.
Through a radio call, other than when they win.
Yeah. They celebrate good.
Yeah.
But
it sounds like they hate them. Even like the first radio call of the day, radio check, clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear. Okay, good. It's like that kind of thing.
Go fast.
It's business for them.
Dude, I find it. I want it
it's
to
hilarious
keep
though.
They're gonna play more of it now.
I wish I could get like a whole like recording of all of their banter.
Well, you could listen to it if you watch the whole race from Max's perspective.
I might go do that tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, yes, it is very entertaining. I've done that before a little bit. Like I do that during qualifying sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I listened to like when Lewis got pole, I listened to the whole like last couple minutes before that, and it was pretty entertaining. But yeah, dude, I love this so much. At least there's a little tension. Like, come on, fight.
That'd be funny.
I want to see him get out of the...
Horner just fires the engineer.
Well, this is the same guy that Max during the 2020 Silverstone Grand Prix was like, hey, remember to drink. He came on the radio.
yeah.
Was like, "Don't forget to drink water." It's like, Max, like what? Anyway, well,
It'll be all good.
that's about it. This is the summer break, so we won't have any full podcast episodes, but we're working on some other content in the background. Dawson's ready to go to
work.
Yeah.
I'm dressing up for the F1 summer break, not my summer break. That's
this
over.
is true. Yeah. There is no such thing. I miss that. That's the thing I miss the most about like school. I never was a big school guy, but like
Summer
having
break.
summer break.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we're so old.
Are we?
I mean, yeah, we're gonna watch this like 20 years and be like, oh my God.
Dude, next year I will be closer to 50 than I will be to birth. And it's a little wild.
Oh. Why'd you put that thought on my head? You're older than me.
My
but,
friend turns 25 in a month.
oh.
He always comments on our post, nice hat. I don't know if
That's
you've
who
noticed.
it is? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my old roommate. And he turns 25 in about a month or so. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, you're closer to 50 than you are to birth.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't like that, man. Stop.
Well, that is scary because I turn 24 soon, and that means that I'm not there yet, but I'm close.
Yeah, we're close, man.
Well,
What a depressing end to our show. Thank you so much for joining us.
go enjoy your summers. It's raining here right now.
It is raining.
Let's just be old men for.
Oh, just make some noises.
My food was cold today. My porridge. All right. We're out. Talk to you later.
Thank you so much for listening. Follow us on all of our socials at the Pitmall Pod. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.